Hello, everybody. This is Nick Penef again with our new episode of Networking on Steroid Show. And now I have a very interesting guest now. But before we do that, I'm gonna show you our tool, Scale, because that's why we're here today. Now, Scale is one of my companies. I'm the co-founder of Scale.com, a SaaS platform which helps you to build your network and get more clients. You're gonna see the demo in a minute. Also, I'm the co-founder of Extreme Power Brands, a partnership agency and a network with over 1,500 founders. And Vince, who is the speaker today, Vince Montero, the founder of Events Digital, is the guest today. He has amazing story. He knows a lot of stuff. He built the whole platform for some of the biggest companies in the Amazon space. But I'm gonna let him introduce himself in 1 minute. But before we do that, let's see the 1 minute demo of Scale, because Scale is sponsoring the episode, and of course, without Scale, we don't have show, we don't have great content for you guys today. So let me play the video, and you're gonna see now what we have for you guys. So, adios, muchachos. We'll see you in a minute.
Meet Scale, the tool that streamlines proactive referrals and facilitates meaningful introductions. With Scale, you can easily exchange intros to expand your network and boost your business growth. Step 1. Sign up for free. You can conveniently sign up for Scale.com using your Gmail account. Step 2. Create your page. To create your Scale page, choose a unique handle, like this, https app.scale.com, Nick Pehnev. Add your name, company, position, and a brief introduction. Step 3. Upload your contacts. You can easily upload your contacts, including partners, clients, or missed opportunities, and share their names, companies, positions, and also their LinkedIn profiles. Step 4. Request introductions. With at least 10 contacts, you're ready for Scale matchmaking, connecting you with users who share your ideal customer profile, ICP, for introduction swaps and referrals. Sign up today and try Scale for free.
Okay, guys, so we're done with the demo, and now it's time to bring our guest to the stage. So, everybody, say welcome to our guest, Vince Montero. Hey, Vince. Happy
Hey.
St. Valentine's. Happy birthday to your mother. And happy St.
Thank
Trifon
you.
Zarazan for everybody in Bulgaria. And cheers to you guys. But now, back to business. I mean, Vince is a very cool new partner of mine. We've been connected for a long time on LinkedIn, but for some reason, we've met only a few weeks ago. And
Recently.
that's actually really bad, because he's a great guy. Usually, from meeting somebody to having him on my webinars on shows, it takes a lot of time. But Vince is a very cool guy. He has a lot to share, and I'll let him introduce himself, what he's doing right now, and then he has some hot content for you guys. And just to before he starts, let me give you the topic. It's really interesting. Latest updates on Amazon Creative and how to utilize them. So how to make more money, guys. So Vince,
Yes.
tell us more about you. And thanks for accepting to speak.
Appreciate it, Nick. Thank you for that great introduction. So, real quickly, I've been in the digital marketing space for almost 20 years. So kind of a OG, so to speak, in the Amazon space since 2017. So I've seen the iterations of everything happening on Amazon, from when it was just, the listing search results to now all the different branding type of campaigns and placements that I'm going to talk about with you today. But most people probably know me from Helium 10. I was at Helium 10 for almost 3.5 years, and I did help them build out their PPC management tool called Atomic. It went through several iterations. But yeah, Atomic is the main one that I'm known for, because I did a lot of content and training, and a lot of videos of me are still out there from that. And I actually still use that tool to manage my own accounts. With that, I'm a consultant, and I'm always in the accounts. And so wanted to share some things that I am seeing with you all today. Oh, I think you're on mute. Nick, I can't hear you, Nick.
Okay, sorry guys. So I muted myself. So I was saying, I'm gonna disappear so Vince can share his screen, and I'm gonna appear if I have a question. If somebody has a question, we can answer that right now or at the end of the session. So it's you. Thanks, Vince.
Great. So yeah, I'm just going to go through some things in Amazon, and if I have time, there's a lot to share actually with Amazon, I'm sure, as you guys know. So I'm going to start in Amazon, and if there's time, I'm going to pop into the Seller Central console and actually go over that too. So if you just want to share to the screen what I am looking at right now, Nick, then we'll be good to go.
Okay.
All right, perfect. So I'm already in Amazon looking at a search result, and I've already done a query for the word crutches. So there's a couple of things that I want to make clear, that there's different types of campaigns. I'm sure you guys know everywhere you see the word sponsored is an actual ad. So for this type of search, very generic search, right? This isn't a specific search. So I like to go through the differences between what you can do with the creatives. So what you see here on top is actually a client of mine. And it is a type of crutch. So it kind of goes with the, the search result crutches. But most crutches look like these. So that's why you see all the different results. I like to scroll through and kind of see where video ad placements are. Video ads are becoming very, very important. I've seen on a recent test a 23% increase in overall sales lift just by adding some videos to their profile page and their ads. So there's one in the middle. That's what everyone is kind of used to. But there's also now one at the bottom, typically. Yeah, right here. So video can be used in lots of different places, and that's one of the elements I'm going to go over. But you do see often there's different ads, typically on the left-hand side. That's going to be your sponsored display type of campaign. And anything that's in the search results, that's your sponsored product campaigns. Now, videos are sponsored brand. So there's different types. So you really have to know the differences so you can launch these types of campaigns. This is also a sponsored display. This is probably a DSP placement though, because I don't know what dog food has to do with the search crutches. So that's probably a DSP placement. But just to kind of give you an idea, of course, these are also sponsored product ads right here. So what I wanted to kind of show you is how this kind of evolves when you do different kinds of searches. So now I'm going to drill down a little bit as a shopper, so to speak, and show you the results for knee crutches. So when you have here is the same type of campaign. However, a new placement is a carousel. So you don't just have the static image that we just saw on the shop before. You see a rolling carousel. This is super effective for maybe products that need kind of an explanation. You can kind of use up to 5 different images to maybe tell a story. If you're really good on your PDP pages, you're kind of already doing that. And you can use these same types of images here. So this is something that's brand new as of just a few months ago. Unfortunately, you do have to launch new campaigns in order to use this carousel. You can't just add new images to existing campaigns, but it's definitely worth the test because I've seen this actually outperform the single, static image that we just saw in the previous one. Now, hopefully this works to show you that there's also another video placement. Yes, it did work perfectly at the top, right? So this is the top of search video placement. I don't see this a lot with a lot of different searches that I'm doing. Obviously, I'm an Amazon shopper myself, and I don't really see this video campaign a lot. So I like to reemphasize this, even though it's already like a year old or a year and a half old. I'm still not seeing a lot of people use it. Now, you do want to use it not sparingly, but you want to be specific with it. Now, obviously, I typed in something pretty specific, a knee crutch, right? That's exactly what this is. So I feel more confident showing this video at this search because it is very specific to this search. Now, if you have generic ones, I say go with like the static images or the carousel images because people are probably still searching or hunting for things, window shopping. So you really kind of want to drill down and get specific with this type of creative when the shopper is being more specific. So another example of this, I actually saved this one just in case the one I just showed you didn't work. This is another client of mine, swivel bike rack wall mount. So it's a very specific type of search, right? So when you have these kind of longer search words, more than 3 types of keyword phrases, you can feel more confident to do this type of campaign because it's really speaking to the shopper. This one says swivel bike rack wall mount. This is exactly what it is. You can mount it to the wall and it actually swivels. It moves, for space saving. So you don't want to use this video placement for your like bike rack. If this was just bike rack, you wouldn't want to show this kind of campaign because it's not as specific and that will save you some money. But when you do have the ability to have different types of videos, which we'll kind of go over, you do kind of use them in these types of places. So another one that I wanted to kind of search was the videos that you can see on product detail pages. So this is a
Vince, sorry that I'm interrupting you. You said that this is available since the last year. So
yeah, this
how
campaign
many?
type.
Yeah. So what percentage of sellers are still not using that?
Oh, of my clients, 100% are using it.
Okay, but before that, I mean, before they became your clients, how many have you spoken to who are using that?
All the clients that I work with have not had this campaign type before I started
Okay.
working with them. But
Okay, sure.
in general, when you're shopping on Amazon, you don't really see this video placement a lot. So that's how I know a lot of sellers just aren't using it, because when
Okay.
I'm shopping
Okay.
or doing searches, like for this, this is a potential client that I'm working with. When I did the search for this, I didn't see a video ad. So there's lots of room for this one for people that are taking the step to be like early adopters of these. People that early adopt campaign types are going to be first to the market, and you really want to do that because generally the CPCs are going to be cheaper or more affordable, because there's less people running these types of campaigns.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. One question, because I always like numbers. What is the conversion rate for those clients before you start doing that and after that? Because that's going to be a good
sure.
example what they're missing.
Yeah, like I said, what I saw recently with a client that I just launched video ads in general was a 23% increase in overall sales. So I like to look at these holistically, especially branding type campaigns like this, videos, or even the one with the carousel slides. Those are really kind of branding elements. Any campaign here at the top can be very brand forward, especially if the shopper is just window shopping. So I like to look at organic sales as well after the launch of these types of campaigns. Versus just saying this video campaign has X% more conversions than other types of campaigns. I do see that is more spend on video ads than on the standard image that's just static, or even the carousel. But to be honest, the carousel is too new for me to even have data. Those are only 2 months old, the one with the sliding images. So still kind of collecting data on those. But generally speaking, video ads are going to be the one that's going to grab the shopper's attention, and they're going to click through, and they're going to actually be more engaged with your product, depending on where they land, which is another thing that I kind of wanted to go through. Yeah. So on the product detail page, there's tons of different ads as well. So I just kind of wanted to scroll from the top. You've got a campaign right here at the top, really kind of thin, but it's semi-important because it's right below the search, or it's right at the top. And then you've got different placements here. Typically, you'll see one below the buy box, or the featured offer, as Amazon's now calling it. And you'll see this one here below the bullets, or whatever Amazon's trying to get you to look at. So these are very strong placements because they're actually pretty high on your listing, right? So these are really important to control. And as you can see, this brand, Loop, is doing a really good job because both of these ads could be a competitor, right? But they're actually using their own different products to advertise on their own listings. So this is something that really, if you have multiple products, you should be doing. If you only have one SKU, of course, it's difficult to have other products here because you only have the one. But if you do have multiple, this is a really important thing to do. Otherwise, there's no competitor that's going to be here. Now, they're still not taking full advantage of all the creative that you can do, because you can actually have lifestyle images right here in these different types of campaigns. And lifestyle imagery, in this case, it would probably be maybe a person wearing, these in their ears. That's going to be a much more compelling thing to look at for the shopper, and it's going to make them click through more. But they are doing a good job of, covering their product listing with their products. Without getting too deep, super important to have A+ content, right? This is something that really all brand registered sellers have access to. And I don't see a lot of sellers taking advantage of the from the brand section. Most are taking advantage of the product description section, but they're not taking care of this newer section. And this is where you can really kind of tell the story of your product. And again, I think that they are doing this quite well. So I wanted to demonstrate that there's an area kind of above the product description that you can take advantage of with really good creative like this that a lot of sellers still are not doing. So again, really great content here. They've got reviews right up at the top for validity. They've got their different images. What they are missing here is the video. They do have the video in the top of the page, as in this section right here. They've got their video, the first video there. but you can actually have video in the A+ content now as well. So that is something that, maybe could be right here or right here. And again, a little bit more engaging. At the bottom, there's all these different types of videos. Again, they don't have their video here. They have it at the top, but they don't have it in their A+ content, and they don't even have it on the bottom of their page. Now, they're pretty lucky. These are all reviews of their exact product, but they have multiple videos I've seen. They should be adding them to this carousel as well, because it's super important for you to appear in this section for your own product. At the bottom, or actually towards the side, I wanted to show you that, again, this is a sponsored brand ad unit. Again, they're doing a really good job covering themselves. They're the first ad, again, here, which is great. And you can see they have different videos. So I know they have different videos they could be pulling from, but they're doing it in the ads, but they're not really putting it into like the content of their product detail page as much as they could be. But right here, super important. This is a sponsored display campaign type. And again, you can see that they're taking advantage of their own listing. Otherwise, a competitor is here. And that's what you want to avoid. You want to avoid, you're doing all the job of making this listing awesome. You want to keep people on your listing as much as possible. So you should have a strategy so that your ads for your other products appear on your own page, if that makes sense. And if I'm going too fast, Nick, just please,
Actually, that's very good. So Vin, just to summarize, so for this spot here, if you don't take advantage of that, Amazon is going to run a competitor's ads.
Yep, exactly.
Okay.
So
how many people don't know that? That's another question.
It's more people. It's more that sellers really don't take the time to have a really a strong brand This is called, this is brand protection. You're protecting your brand, right? So if you don't have specific types, I would suspect that this brand has very specific types of campaigns. That's what I do. For all my clients, they have branded keyword campaigns or branded ASIN campaigns. So all of their listings have, if they have multiple products, I want to target our own other pages so that you can have this type of consistency when you're looking at a listing. Otherwise, if you're not really strong at this, Amazon's going to have a competitor here. They're going to have a competitor again at the top. They're going to have a competitor here and here, right? So again, super powerful if you have the capabilities, if you have multiple products, to be taking advantage of this kind of thing. And again, the creative is, we're talking about creative. You can have lifestyle creative in these images, which if we have time, I'll pop into Amazon and show you what that looks like. So the other thing that I kind of wanted to share is the importance of the store, your Amazon store. And they do a pretty good job of this, but what I wanted to do, and I haven't actually tested this yet, but I wanted to see kind of where this goes. So this goes to the listing. You can have campaigns that actually go to your store. And if you can do that, I highly suggest that you do that. Now, this didn't happen in this example, but you can always get to the store by clicking on this link here. But shoppers don't, this is a very small, little button that a lot of shoppers just miss, right? So unless they know specifically to go to your store, they might miss that. And the store is a really good opportunity to tell your bigger kind of branding story with lots of different creative. They actually do have a really good store, which is why I wanted to go there. But as you just saw, that type of campaign and some sponsored brand campaigns really should be going to your store, not to the listing page like it just did. Does that make sense?
One question. So what would be the benefit now to go to the brand store? Because on the brand store are only your products. Amazon is not. Okay.
Right, exactly. So as you saw on the listing, there's lots of different opportunities for competitors to have their ads. Your store, it's just you. So you're more in control of the shopper experience if you direct them to your store. And if you have a really good store, you're going to be more likely to get the sales, right? Okay. So again, I picked this product because they do have a decent store, a very good store. One of the things that I liked about what they did is at their homepage, they have this little kind of creative right below telling people, hey, follow us, right? So they do a good job with Amazon posts, which were also on their product detail page. It's kind of like Instagram. It's like an Instagram feed, a different kind of imagery. Really important tool that you can use again for branding and for marketing. So they've done something interesting. I haven't seen this before. They have just image right here, stay in the loop, and you can see this little heart, and it kind of guides them to this follow button. So if this wasn't here, if this message wasn't here, you're less likely to get the shopper to actually follow you. Now, if this is a shopper that's kind of shopping around, you do want to get them to follow you. Or if you've got different types of products that you're launching, you do want them to follow you, because then they're more inclined to look at your posts, look at your creative, and maybe buy future products from you. So super important to have a fleshed out store, again, because you're managing the flow of this experience. I'm not going to see any competitor ads on your store, right? That's the great thing about it. So they've done a pretty good job of on their homepage, some of the information that you saw on their product detail page, but you can see they're taking full advantage of the entire space of this listing, or sorry, of their store. And even on a mobile phone, this is really important because mobile phones are smaller, right? So it's going to take advantage of the full width. So that's something that I definitely recommend doing versus breaking things up into smaller images, which is what I really do still see with most people's stores. So now they do have their products one listed at a time here. What I don't see, again, is that all important video. So a missed opportunity here is simply have a video that has all your different products in it, right? Versus having just one, screen per section. You could actually have a video, maybe at the bottom, highlighting all the different kind of brands that you have, so that they're more inclined to maybe to look at the different types of products that you do have, right? So again, video is the most engaging kind of campaign or creative. So you want to use it effectively wherever you can. And in your store and on your homepage specifically, I think it's really important for sellers to do. Now, they have done a really good job of kind of showcasing, what their different products are. You've got Quiet, Experience, Engage. You can also get them right here. But again, they've done a really good job. You've got different creative for each one of these. So it kind of tells the shopper that these are kind of different types of, it's a similar product, but these are really interesting variations that they might want to be interested in checking out. So they're taking advantage of that header to kind of tell that story. So again, super interesting creative. They do have, I checked this before, they do have a video. Nope, they don't have a video. So this is another opportunity, again, for them to have the video of this one particular product. So you should have videos that have, if you have more than one product, you can do a collection of videos. But if you've got specific types of products, which they obviously do, you should also have videos for that one specific type of product, because it really highlights the differences between your other products. And again, it's just a much more engaging creative. So that's just a little bit of a missed opportunity here.
Yeah. By the way, Vince, one question: where is the best place to have the video? I assume at the top. The first
I would say not right at the top, but right below this, right? So you want it to be pretty engaging. Like, I would definitely say this creative is this is a great creative. So I wouldn't want to dismiss it, but I would say you could have a video before you have your actual product, right? Because you really want to engage that shopper before they actually see, oh, this is where I can actually purchase the product now, right? So I would say definitely at least right below a main image is where you want to put a video. And you could even have the video only playing on this quarter, this half, and then have the product on this side, right? So it's super powerful what you can do with the stores. And again, these are free. Like, all brand registered sellers get a store on Amazon for free. You don't have to pay extra for this. And again, it's something that I feel like I like talking about because it's all about branding, but it's super important because it's really, you control the experience of the shopper on Amazon. Whereas your detail page, sometimes, especially if you don't have a really good brand protection strategy, you might lose that shopper to other competitors who are competing for that shopper on your own listing. So
actually, this one question, though, because everybody's talking right now about external traffic. Let's say now, if you have external traffic, where should you send them? To your listing or your store? Okay. So
yeah, your store. And again, if you only have one product, that's fine. Obviously, your detail page is where they need to go. But if you've got multiple products, and it doesn't matter which, now what you can do and what they've done. So if you've got, let's say, a Google ad and you're only running it for this Loop experience, you can actually send them to this page, right? So they don't have to go to the home. They can actually go to this page. And even with some of the campaign types that I showed you, you can direct them to a certain page on your store, right? So if you really want to, grab that shopper's attention with the compelling ad, but then make sure that they get the full experience of that product, you just direct them to your page within your store.
Actually, I like that a lot because I was running supplement business for like 10 years. I know
Yeah.
exactly, because, Amazon is good. I mean, I go on Amazon, I always purchase some stuff, but like I said, it's very small. I mean, and here is very big. I can really see or watch, what I'm planning to buy, on the page. So,
Yes, exactly. So this is kind of a website within Amazon, right? So you should have an About Us page. I just wanted to check to make sure that they have it. I would recommend that they have this kind of like out here though, uh, on the main menu, because shoppers really are getting more interested in who they're purchasing from, right? They're getting more interested in where their money is going and who is actually taking their money. So I think it's important to have similar to how if you have a website, you should have a brand story, and your brand story is perfect for the store because you have a lot of room to tell it. So would be a great place. They have their kind of about us here, but what I like to do is have a brand story video. I've been talking about video a lot, of course, so it's really good to maybe even use this spot as well to do a branded video. And that kind of goes back to what I was saying earlier. Videos in particular, you really have to think about where you're putting them, right? Now, a video on the product detail page has to be very specific. You can tell a little bit about the product in the story, but you mostly want to focus on the benefits, right? And you could do that in a little longer form. An ad, though, should be short and sweet. It should be 30 seconds, maybe 15 seconds if you can get it in there, because you really have a limited time to grab that shopper's attention. So those ads need to be shorter. Now, your video on your store can be longer because they're on your store. So I see another mistake I see is a lot of sellers just have maybe one or two videos and they put them in all different places, and that's not going to get you the as high conversions as it would if you were actually a little bit more focused on where is this going? Is it something I need to put on the listing and just trying to grab the shopper's attention by showing them the benefits and the features? Or do they actually want to learn more about us? And can I put a longer form video in that section? So yeah, again, keeping in mind the different types of creative elements and where you're putting them is super important for their conversion for Amazon. So I want to be wary of time. I was going to pop into actually Seller Central itself and go into a couple of things, but I wanted to check to see if we have questions since we're coming up on 30 minutes.
Yeah, actually, one question that I had, regarding the videos, because I had a webinar like a few months ago, and we're talking about, the percentage of people not using that. So the main thing is, what is the difference of like a brand not using video and A+ content and a brand using that, in terms of like conversion and money. Let's say competitor to competitor, and let's say two companies, one is doing that, the other one is not doing that.
So this is a really good example, and it's one of the reasons why I was investigating this particular product is because I'm going to be working with a similar product, and what I can tell you is that in doing that kind of shopping comparison, the brand, the product that has much more branding, the product that has much more engaging content like this, like they do, they're always going to outperform the product that doesn't have it. Even if that product has been around longer and has more reviews, what I've seen is the sales eventually get shifted over to the brands that are doing this type of intensive content. I think the shoppers feel like this is kind of credibility. If they're going to spend this much time ensuring that their products look really, this good, that's going to be a better product to buy. So it's always going to outperform a listing that doesn't have the A+ content, like I was sharing with you before, isn't going to perform as well as the one that does. Especially if the shopper is still kind of in browsing mode. If they get to that, that brand section and then the product description section, they really see that the seller has done a lot of work to best show their product in the hands or ears or eyes of the seller or of the shopper. That's going to have a higher conversion than the listings that don't have it. I see that consistently. I don't have percentages, but I do know, just based on looking at the results of the sales, that there is definitely a difference.
Yeah, I mean, you need to make an impression. If you don't impress them the first time, they're never gonna buy from you. It's simple as that.
Exactly. The one thing I wanted to do, again, because we're talking about videos now, again, you can do, now I'm in Seller Central or the Amazon Ads Console. You can have sponsored brand videos, like I was showing you, the 3 different placements. You can have sponsored display videos. Those actually can go on the side of the listings. You can actually have video playing in that that left-hand column that I was showing you. I've actually, not a lot, I haven't seen a lot of videos yet in that placement, but you can actually have videos in that placement as well. But recently, and this is only, I think, for select sellers and maybe only North America, could be wrong. This could be more extensive now. But if you've got really good videos that you maybe have some data on, you can now launch them on streaming TV. So this is actually brand new. I haven't even tested this yet, but I wanted to let people know Amazon's moving in the direction of branding their products even more, because they know that is where it converts. Shoppers like these types of branding types of campaigns, so much so that they're now launching these types of campaigns where you can have it running while someone's on like Amazon Prime, for example. There's different channels, but most people understand Amazon Prime Video is a channel that you get if you have Amazon Prime. So you can have, while people are watching a program, they now might be exposed to your video in very much like a commercial format. And I don't know if you can see it, but in this particular image, you can see a QR code. So I don't know how this is going to work, because if I'm sitting there watching TV, am I really going to stand up and take a picture of the QR code while I'm looking at a commercial?
Yeah, probably unlikely. But still, it's good branding. I mean, they're going to see you. They're going to see you there. Then they go on Amazon. They're going, okay, so those guys. So they're going to think of you, not of the other.
Exactly. And especially if they see it, consistently, which is the whole point of ads, which is the whole point of commercials. It's all about, even if you're a brand new product, if you've got a really good video ad, this company that I was showing you here is fairly new, only a couple of years old. They have some really strong videos. They might want to add them to this new streaming service. And again, for branding and for awareness. But even if you're a brand new product and you don't have a lot of awareness and you've got budget, obviously, because this is going to cost you some money, but this is a really good placement to maybe test out. It does still say beta. So you're still, in testing mode with Amazon, but depending on the product, this actually might be a really interesting thing to try out.
Yeah, very, very good content, Vince. Now, especially this stuff with the branding, because it reminds me of when I was running my supplement business. At some point, at some channels were actually not profitable, but we're doing so much branding that we're getting a lot of orders on our Google AdWords, like the text words. Because see, we're not making money on the so-called like campaigns, like branding campaigns, but all of those guys are actually searching for our product on Google and they're purchasing there, and the cost per sale was really low. So it's something probably how people can use that from Amazon Prime. Now they see you, it's very unlikely they're gonna scan that, but they're gonna keep on seeing you. So the next time they go and search for that,
they're gonna remember you. And they might go in and type your exact brand name in Amazon, and hopefully, again, if you have a good brand strategy, you're going to be the first one to show. I also want to say that some of the things I'm sharing with you, they're becoming mandatory. So recently, at the end of January, for that sponsored brand campaign that was right at the top, if it doesn't have an image associated with that campaign, kind of like the static image or the carousel image I was showing you, at the end of May, those are getting turned off. So Amazon knows, because again, they have all the data. They know that those types of campaigns with an image outperform the campaigns without an image. So they're actually going to be forcing sellers to have that creative added, or they're going to get turned off. You've also got the same thing with sponsored display campaigns, which are the ones on the listing and the ones on the side I was showing you. They have a lifestyle creative. I suspect before the end of the year, Amazon's going to say mandatory. You have to have a lifestyle image on those campaign types too, because those convert better. And it's a better shopping experience. Like when you're shopping, when you're browsing on Amazon, it's much nicer to look at, images, lifestyle images, versus just, a logo and, some text. So that's just to say, the branding aspects of Amazon obviously work, or they wouldn't be kind of enforcing these new creative elements, which were, optional before, but they're actually becoming mandatory, which is a significant sign from Amazon that they do work.
Yeah, I guess they would like to convert more of the traffic. They don't want to have people coming and not buying, which is probably the worst case scenario for Amazon. Because my wife was telling me, okay, what's up with Amazon? And because I purchased stuff from Amazon, she said, okay, man, why people are using that? It looks the same like 20 years ago. But like you just said, I guess they're going to change some stuff because
Yes.
all this branding. So
Yes.
one last question, by the way, Vince, because you showed a lot of content. So is AI helping sellers to actually produce those content, or AI is not good enough to actually produce? For
Some of the I have in my experience, the actual lifestyle images are still going to outperform the AI generated. That might change this year. AI is getting better and better and better. But when I'm shopping on Amazon, I can tell an AI image versus a not AI image. Of course, it's because I'm looking at this stuff all day long, right? To the average seller, they might not suspect that this is an AI generated image. But even it doesn't matter. Even an AI generated lifestyle image is better than not having a lifestyle image at all. Right.
Okay.
So I will say that if you have access to the AI, and it's difficult for you to actually, set a photo shoot, yeah, absolutely. Use the AI technology. There's lots of different things out there. Amazon has their own AI image generator in the tool, which is pretty good. It's not the best, but it will get better and better and better. So again, the bottom line is it's better to have an image than not have an image.
Okay, that's actually a very good ending because, see, guys, Amazon is giving you obviously the options. Eventually, it's going to become mandatory. So if you don't do it, I mean, they're just going to kick you out because they won't like 3PL servers or servers who are going to convert the traffic that they send to you guys. So if you don't convert, they're going to find a new server. So, so everybody joining now, we're going to share the recording on our newsletter. So if you were celebrating Valentine's or send refund in Bulgarian, don't worry, now we're going to have the recording so we can actually get all the gold nuggets that Vince shared. And thanks again, Vince, for sharing those tips.
Sure.
And everybody else enjoy the holiday, whatever you guys are celebrating today. So adios, everybody.
Thank you, Nick.
Thank you. Bye.